What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vermont Scale Customs. So 2 videos ago, you saw these tires sitting on the FJ, and I was busy kind of going on about how they worked and didn't work, and I decided to put them on the FMS FCX LC80. Those had 60mm Batrazzi tires on there, which I really liked a lot. I had never heard of that brand before and never had any experience with their products. They kind of make some all-around stuff. They make the links, a couple of other things, the brass steering linkage and stuff like that, like all the upgrades that you get from Fair RC for this. And so when I ordered this, I ordered that upgrade kit. And I haven't added anything else to this. I have not put like brass diffs or brass, seat horns or anything like that. Just links and put a servo horn on there. I got rid of the servo saver, and then I put stainless drive shafts. And then, of course, it has the Batrazzi wheels and tires. But now the Treal tires, which are 62 versus 60mm, 62 by 24 versus 60 by 25. So a little bit taller and slightly narrower, and all around better, as I can tell so far. I get a little hung up here because this is definitely the toughest part of this coming up. Not really made for a 1/18 scale Land Cruiser. But pretty impressed, needless to say, that it made it this far. But I gave up on that and went over here to see how it would do at this. But I had not run this truck for a while. It has sat on my desk, kind of watching everything else go on. And this is really kind of one of my favorite rigs. I'm about to actually pay this thing off here in another couple days. The final payment from my Affirm 6-payment plan is coming up. So, gonna do some modifications to it. I've ordered the clear glass and interior kit for it on eBay. I think you guys are probably, anybody familiar with these knows about that. If you're not, I can include a link in the description. I sped through a lot of that just so you wouldn't suffer, but wanted to leave the most important part. I'm pretty impressed with this truck, needless to say. I've really kind of put this thing on some climbs that I never thought that it would be able to do, and it stuck right to them and just walked right up. I have a lot of fun with this truck because it's capable. It's a it's got a 2-speed, so it does have a shift servo in it, and first gear in this thing definitely is gold for sure. Second gear is a lot of fun if you like to, go a little bit fast. You can actually jump some stuff if you want. Get this thing off the ground. I have a couple videos of it in the air. But this was a first run at this, and it doesn't make it. But I wanted to include that first segment just because I liked the way that came up, and it kind of also showcases how stable this thing is. And the rock just kind of totally shifted, if you didn't catch that, and it managed to stay planted. But it just gets drawn into this hole here and cannot make it up and around this corner. So unfortunately, I stopped this here in a minute after a second attempt. I think I tried to reposition and it just doesn't work out. But traction on these tires, I kind of complained about them not working for the FJ. Kind of said the sidewall was a little too stiff, and so what I did was put the original foams back in, and these Batrazzi wheels have brass inner rings in them, and they are vented, and so they seem to work perfectly for this truck. The one thing that I do want to do is trim just a little bit off of the fender flares on the front to make sure that those corners don't hang up, just because there is a little size increase. But I have full articulation all the way around and get full lock without really too much severe contact. There was a little extra room with those 60mm on there. They were kind of like the perfect size, so 1mm extra all the way around isn't much really to speak of. And so, like I say, just a tiniest little bit of trimming, and that's going to fix that problem. But after a little bit of a kind of rock shift and everything here, I kind of went back at this, as you can see, for a second try. And I have never not been impressed with this truck. I'm endlessly impressed with this thing and what it can do. It's a good-looking truck that performs incredibly well for what it is and how much they are. You know, these I think are like $199, you know, basic truck, and then the Fair RC upgrade version I think usually sells for around $239. There's two different ones that you can get. One's $219 and one's $239. I got the $239 one, which comes with the brass links kit. I don't recommend using the servo horn. I actually recommend just using the stock servo and switching over to, I said servo horn, I meant servo saver. Don't use the servo saver, just use a regular servo horn. It's so much better for these. You get so much more responsive steering. I've never had a problem really with servo horns, and I have minimal experience with servo savers, and I just know that I never have been a fan of them. So, but this truck is stock. Aside from all the little things that are on there, stock electronics, stock frame, stock shocks that came on it. These, I believe, are oil filled. They come well tuned. Don't have to worry about that. I do have some preload wound up in them just to kind of keep things stable. Still having problems hooking that right front in that spot. I think that's going to be one that's going to challenge this truck for all it's worth. Faster forward through a lot of this and show this one more time. I think this might be the one that I spun it right off the... Nope. That's enough. Okay. This is crazy. I didn't expect this to work out. So I sat and spun for a while. I tried going up that side. That didn't work out. I was obviously kind of pulled in on the right front, but just kept spinning the tires to see where it was going to take me. And I couldn't believe that it was pulling this thing up. And once it got both tires up and over the top, and almost the right or the left rear, I think this was the second time I tried this, and it didn't go as well as the first. So I just kept, heating the tires up a little bit, seeing if I couldn't find that spot that was going to make it, and I got stuck. But then it kind of started wiggling a little bit, and it went. I couldn't believe that. So I had not brought it down this. Of course, it hasn't made it. It's only put its front wheels on that ledge up there, so technically not fair game to be placing the truck up there to drive it down. It's kind of one of my course rules. It has to have actually made it to the level in order to be able to drive down from it. But I figured I've tried hard enough with this thing. But for what it is, as top-heavy as you think it would be, it's an incredibly stable truck. And I don't think adding just a couple grams for the, for the interior is really going to make much of a difference. I believe the clear plastic for the windshields and the glass and stuff that's going in should be about the same. I may cut the driver's side and the passenger side out just to have them open so you can see the driver a little bit better, which is going to take a couple grams out as well. But I think what I'm trying to say is it's not going to add a whole lot to the upper part of this. Oh, I also had the inner fender kit ordered as well. That should be here sometime soon. Looking forward to kind of closing that up so you don't see inside. But yeah, I haven't spent any time on modifying this truck at all. It's like I said, it's been sitting on the desk, just kind of sitting there and just watching everything else get done. I think now is the time to focus a little bit more attention on it. So having some fun with it. Took it downstairs last night and put it on the indoor course, just to prove to myself, again, that it's just such a sweet truck. It's super capable. I like driving this thing a lot. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you sticking around if you have this long. Take it easy out there. See you in the next one.